my main hypothesis of a diagnostic nature in the book is that the best term for the side that I'm concerned about, the side that I think is threatening democracy most profoundly, is Authoritarian Reactionary Christianity, ARC. Reactionary, meaning there's a significant chunk of Americans, and it's also true in some other countries, who are, not to put too fine a point on it, freaked out by pretty much every social change that has happened in our country since about 1962. And they tend to see these changes as a violation of their values, a violation of the Bible, a violation of God's will, a violation of what America should be. So if you think about pretty much every social change since about 1962, that's about gender, race, immigration, the role of religion in public life, patriotism, the dominance of white people, patriarchy, the dominance of men, the gay rights movement, the sexual revolution. So imagine a population that is, in one way or another, not universally the same in every issue, but in general thinks that these changes are negative and destructive, or they're not comfortable with them. They want to go back to something different. That is almost the definition of a reactionary posture, right? Authoritarian means both, to me, both that a lot of Christians who I'm talking about don't really think in a democratic way about the structure of power in really any sector of life. Maybe they're most comfortable in churches in which one person rules with like absolute authority, like a pastor. Maybe they believe in that kind of leader in the home, the male patriarch. So authoritarianism, I argue in the book, there's a lot of authoritarianism in the Christian religious heritage that some people still have today. But more profoundly, what I'm saying is, at this point in history, some of these Christians who are reactionary to modern social changes are losing confidence that democracy can give the results that they want to change the society the way they think it should be changed. Right. They want a counter, I have a chapter on this. They want a counter revolution to the secular revolutions that's how they view everything since the 1960s. Beginning in the 70s, the strategy for the Christian right was, let's get the right people elected and we'll have that counter revolution. But what if the elections don't change the direction of the culture the way you want them to? Maybe you need to consider some other strategies that go beyond elections. Maybe it's time for holy war. Maybe it's time for militias. Maybe it's time for January 6th. Maybe it's time for extreme gerrymandering or using whatever means you can come up with to get the result that you believe is God's will or that you most deeply want or that you think protects the future for your children. Reactionary to modern changes, authoritarian as in democracy can be sacrificed or even must be sacrificed because cosmic matters are at stake.